Hello again, everybody. Well, here we are again. We are in store for some, I believe the Weather Service calls it, historic levels of rain. We're supposed to pick upwards of 9 inches of rain between now, which is Tuesday, and the weekend. So I'm going to shoot a little before and after. So let's go in here and take a look. I'm not going to walk everywhere through the park, but we're at least going to see some overhead shots of Chattanooga and see what the creeks look like that we can see what the Tennessee River looks like. And then we'll come back and take a look after. So come on, guys, let's go have some fun today. Well, another interesting little tidbit. The storm has a weird little angle. It's actually cold enough up here to freeze. So, if you can hear it, sounds like we're picking up a little bit of sleet. You can see that the Tennessee River is looking pretty full. Well, let's walk up here and take a look before it really gets bad. Like the police range is being used. Now, while we're up here, there is an interesting little tale of something called Pulpit Rock. It's actually in this little bunch of trees in between here and what's known as the Ox Museum. Now, it's too sloppy today to go down in there and try to film it. Plus, it's too difficult to film with all the briars and nastiness. But here's some photos of what I took the other day, and it'll show you there was supposedly a speech given by Jefferson Davis in 1864. Now, there's a lot of controversy about it, but I'm just going to leave these photos here. Now, while I don't anticipate the Tennessee River to really breach its banks too terrible, there are things like this creek. And you can see that this is before, we've already had a bunch of rain. This is before the really bad rain has come in. Right there is the old railroad overpass, and that is Cummings Highway. So you can see that this creek is already pretty drastically flooded, and we'll come back later after all the storms to see how bad things are. Well, guys, we're past it. I tried to come out here actually during the storms, but unfortunately the fog was too hardcore to be able to see anything. Plus, with the driving rain and all that, it was pretty bad. So let's go take a look, guys. Now, if you want to jump on YouTube and all that and look, there are a lot of folks that actually documented how bad the rain actually got. As of this recording, Spring Hill, Tennessee actually had some pretty catastrophic flooding. There was a lot of catastrophic flooding. There have been mudslides. A subway over near Signal Mountain, which is over near where all of that concrete-y looking plant is, and where I'm talking about's about right there. They had a mudslide, and it actually collapsed a building that housed a subway. So we've had some mudslides and some blockages and trees down, and that whole storm, I'm kind of glad that it went the way it did. I think while we got an ungodly amount of rain, I think that we dodged a bullet. We got less than I think we should have gotten. Looks like on the radar that certain areas north of us and certain areas south of us might have gotten a little bit worse. So at least there's that. But as I always say, after a storm, it is always a beautiful look off this park. Now they have been letting down that all through the dams the dams have basically been fully running. Independently of generating power at full tilt, they've also left all the spillways open. So if you look really careful, you can see that there is a lot of debris now. Doesn't look like much, but my guess when I drove that direction was that the Tennessee River is probably within about 15 feet or so of the interstate. Now, that's not necessarily a big deal. Like I said, there are dams above and below Chattanooga, and they will never really let Chattanooga flood as bad as it has flooded in the past. But it has definitely been interesting. So let's go down and take a look at the Ox Museum, shall we? Yes, even though the storm has passed, there is still a lot of wind on the backside. Well, guys, here we are. I still consider this the best view in the park. This is from the Ox Museum, as always. And you can definitely see that, oh, one, we actually have a train coming. You can see down there by Cummings Highway, that whole area is flooded out. Now, somewhere down in there is the Friar Cemetery, which I will be trying to film at some point in the future. But it's going to have to do a lot of drying out. And Lookout Creek is in really bad shape. Now, I have been told, interestingly enough, that Skyuka Spring is really roaring right now, but I don't know if you'd want to do it, because if it's really roaring, it means that the creek is probably flooded all the way up to the springs. So I think Chattanooga dodged a bullet here. You know what, while we're here, let's take a look. Did all of the massive rain, well, looks like a little bit more erosion has happened. It's dropped a little bit more. Always got to keep an eye on that. I'm worried about that particular umbrella rock because of the erosion situation. Apologies for the wind, but evidently we're having a little bit of dust storm. It's probably blowing about 20 miles an hour. You can see how the creek's flooded quite badly, especially down that way. Wow, this wind is bad. This is an extra little add-in. Evidently, even though the rain has stopped, the flooding is quite bad. So TVA is letting even more down. I'm at the Chickamauga Dam. Now normally, somewhere over in there is a fishing pier. As a matter of fact, if you look, you can see right in near the fishing pier. But here's what I wanted to let you guys see. Serious wind too being generated from this. Just had to get in the car a little bit. The wind that's whipping off of that is coming so hard that it was hard to see. Yeah, I imagine that there's not a lot of, work going on down in there today on the off chance that that could get overtopped. Apologies that the sun is at the wrong angle, but this is just impressive. I think this is the most angry I've ever seen the water coming through the Chickamauga Dam.
were not prepared. Well, he got to say I can't drink water. Yeah.
Well, guys, they'll just keep letting this down, and once the levels get down low enough, they'll start sealing stuff back up. So I'm off to go on some more journeys. Until then, why don't you guys go on some journeys of your own? We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.